Hello, Rank Carcass here. I'm starting a strategy video on Germany, 1936 scenario for this historical board gaming global war, 1936 to 1945 game. I'll have it in clips, one clip for each turn, put them together. Not sure how many I'll get, but we'll try to get as many as we can in here, as I showed in the previous video. So, turn one, Germany. You, in your combat move, if you want to make some free units and some free money, are probably going to do something along this line, because this gives you a $2 bonus. It's the biggest bonus, so might as well take it first. You're going to combat move this guy into here and say, I'm annexing Austria. What does that do? Well, that gives you a piece of pie on here, and that immediately turns these guys into Germans. Since you did that on your non-combat move, you can technically move these guys in your non-combat move. Oh no, yeah, your non-combat moves after your reinforcements. But at this point in time, you don't really need to. So there you go, Austria annexed. It's worth $2. So you're already at 20. It's kind of a rolling the dice thing here as to what you're going to buy. It depends on how you're going to go. I'm just going to play very conservative here. So I am going to buy 1 submarine and 5 infantry for the Germans. Why? Because it's fairly simple for the game here. So 5 infantry, and I'm not going to do any non-combat moves except for I'm going to move my submarines around. There's a reason for this. I'll go into detail a little bit on the next couple turns. So this coastal sub can move 1. There you go. This submarine is at a shipyard, which gives it bonus 1 movement. So 1, 2. I'm going off camera here, but 3, 4. Let's move it. I'll show you where I moved that here. I'm going to place these 5 infantry right here. I'm going to place this submarine here. I'm done placing. There you go. Now, so I moved that German sub down to here. The reason for that is I'm trying to put things on the convoy lines. This coastal sub will eventually get there. So, income increases. At the time that I did that annexation, this should have gone up to 22 from 20. And the British, because they go up $1 every time Germany annexes something, goes to 12. And there you go. So I'm not going to show what the British are going to do, but the British are going to collect their $12. The French are still collecting 5. The Germans are now collecting 22, but they spent all their money, so we'll just give them an extra $2 here and just leave their money. All right, and the Americans are still at 6. The Italians are still at 7. I'm not touching them. And as you can see, the Russians are still at 8. There you go. I'm going to end this turn here. So total income for these guys is 10. For these guys is 13. And for all the game, these guys would have had 42, but they only have 22 in their pocket right now. And that's the end of turn 1. So we're going to move from July 1936 to January 1937, and I'll do another quick clip on that. Okay, I'm back here. It's around 2 January 1937. I have a correction. I miscounted this sub. It can't reach here. It can only go 1, 2, 3, 4, or 3, 4. So it should be here. All right, and the only other thing that changed is the Dutch built a destroyer as per the neutral build chart. Now, I'm just going to go through January 1937 in a quick move here. All right, so same thing as last time, more or less, only instead of annexing Austria, we're going to annex the Sudetenland. So, what does that mean? Well, Germany goes up $1 again. And because it annexed something, the British go up $1 again. So we're going to put the piece of pie down here. We are going to swap this light tank out for one of ours. And there you go. This place is worth $1. So that's $1 increase. Alright. Building the same thing this time. I'm building 5 infantry and a submarine. Okay, so non-combat moves. I'm going to do the same kind of thing with the subs. So I'm going to just back this off a little bit like that so you can see what I'm doing here. And this submarine here is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to walk around there and do these other subs because I can't reach. Alright, so that one's the 4. This coastal sub from here to here is 1. And this one that moved here last time, I'm trying to spread out the British Navy on escort duty. So this one's going to go 1, 2, 3. And there you go. So the purpose of these subs, I'm not going to well, I might show them, but basically I'm trying to get some submarines down in here, start bothering this line here and this line here, forcing the British to spread out that little bit of white Navy there, Navy up in here in the Med, and possibly some of that stuff stacked around London to start moving all those little tan ships. Alright, so that's the purpose of that. So yeah, now let's move on to the money. The money. Yeah, I know I'm making you dizzy, but I gotta walk around this table. It's a little large. Okay, so the Germans annexed a $1 territory, so they go up to 23. The British annexed, or noticed that, and they go up $1 because they're getting a little bit prepared. French still at 5. Americans still at 6. Italy doesn't matter, but it's still at 7. And the Russians are still at 8. Alright, so as you can see, their income does not change. Now, the French get another 5. The British get 13. So they're now at 36 total income. Oh, I should probably place those. And the Germans are going to collect $23. Plus, they just saved $2 last time. So they now have $25. Alright, so let's place those units. There we go. So not quite sure where to put it. Doesn't really matter. I'm just going to be putting the sub here again because it's closer to harassing the British in the Atlantic. And I'm going to build myself, I could put this extra 5 infantry here if I plan on going that way. Not sure for sure if that's my plan or not. So for now, this turn, I'm just going to put 5 infantry over here. Actually, let's split that up. Let's split it up. We'll do a greenie over here, making this 5. And then we'll put two more underneath there so that this one will turn into a green as well. So that's a total of 4. You notice that I'm just kind of moving infantry around the borders here so that should I decide to attack something, I won't get, I have some nice little cannon fodder meat shield infantry for defense around the edges here. Alright, and yeah, I'm making sure I move all this stuff forward. I'm trying to get it all to here next turn. So this is all going to move here. That way I'm ready to attack Poland with it. Alright, so that's the end of this turn. Let's see what happens next turn. Okay, we're back for round 3. I'm just going to show you. Oh, I forgot to move the turn tracker. There we go. July 1937. Okay, and German turn 3. I'm not moving anybody else. I just left them on the map so you can see where they start. The French can basically only build colonial infantry or something in the factory here in Paris. The British could be building up there. They could be building down here. Or they could be building a factory anywhere, or colonial infantry, or building ships. You never know. I'm just trying to get their stuff moving. Get them a little bit uncomfortable with where I put all the German stuff here. If I can get some of the ships out of the Med with these potential convoys here, that's a win for Italy. So, and if I can get all these ships away from London, which probably won't happen, but if it does, that would be a bonus too. So this turn I'm going to do a little bit different purchase. I'm going to build a $5 sub and save all my other money. I'm going to save 20 bucks and spend $5 on a sub. There you go, for the Germans. Now, non-combat, I am going to annex Slovakia now. Yeah, I'm going to leave the light tank here because from here I can either reach that spot, or I could go into Lorraine if I wish. I'm not quite sure what I want to do with that tank. It all depends on what the French are building and how they're placing their units. Because what the French do affects what I do. The reason I've got equal numbers here so far is I want them to not know which way I'm coming. Am I coming through Belgium? Am I just going right across the Maginot line? They're both good and they're both bad. Belgium, you end up fighting 4 extra infantry. The Maginot line, you end up fighting a defensive position. So, but yeah, we're going to annex Slovakia on this combat move, which means another big German piece of pie. So far, and that means 2 more infantry. So let's see, what do we got in there? We got 4. So we had 3 plus 2. So let's grab an extra greenie here because it's easier to see. So far, the Germans have managed to gain themselves 4 free infantry. Because this initial guy on top is the one that's been doing this annexing here. A free fighter, a free small factory or minor factory, and a free light tank. Plus they've increased their income by $4. So that's the first 3 turns. And now I'm going to do my non-combat moves and place this submarine here. So I'm going to do something slightly different. I'm going to move this sub. Actually, I'm going to do nothing different. I'm going to move this sub to same place as the last one and place this sub over here. So what I'm going to do, you may not see it, I'm going to go 1, 2, oh, I'll move those guys over somehow. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. Alright, now I need to go around the corner here. So, yeah, you can't see it. So, the first sub I just moved here where this last one was. This sub here is going to go 1, 2, 3 down to there, and this sub here is going to go 1, 2, 3. Notice I'm bringing subs around. Point is, I want this one on this convoy line, this sub on this convoy line. I'm going to be bringing this one down to here. The new one I build is going to be hitting on this line or that line over there, and this one here, this coastal sub, is going to stay on this line that's finally reached here. Alright, so that's the point. I'm just trying to force the British, as I said, to start moving their navy around. Now let's show you the place units here. There you go. So, place my $5 sub. Germany gets some nice cheap subs. Alright. Now, Germany has increased by $1 again for annexing Slovakia. The British notice, and they go up $1. So now I've annexed everything I can with Germany. So I'm locked in at 24 unless I attack somebody new. The British have done all their increases for those 3 So they're now locked in at 14. The French, Americans, and the Russians have no change. Germany's done nothing to make them nervous. All right, now let's do some, so that's that income, and now let's show these guys' income increases here. So we're going to do the same thing, another $5 for the French. They've now collected 3 times plus their initial 5, so they're at $20. The British are going to collect 14. I have a feeling I need to chip out those ones there because it's starting to get confusing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there we go. And that's another 5. So the British in total income, because I haven't spent anything, they might be spending up here in London, they might be spending down in the Middle East, I have no idea. But the British have a total of 50. And the Germans saved 20 last time, and they're going to make an additional 24. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring a $5 over here, take this one off, just for change. So the Germans should now have 20, 30, 40, $4. All right, and the reason I'm saving this money, it will become apparent next turn. Actually, 2 turns from now. So, income's all done, and the turn tracker moves from July 37 to January 1938. All right, I'll see you then. Okay, German strategy turn 4. Now, I have nothing left to annex, so I'm not going to. I've already got my 4 free men worth $12. My light armor worth another 4, so that sits me at 16. Plus my free fighter at another 10, so I'm sitting at $26 in free units for those 3 annexations. More than equal what the British are making in $3 extra, plus I'm making $4 extra. So for the Germans, it's a no-brainer to take that. It gives you more military units for free. Oh, and a factory that would have taken me $10 to build as well. So that's that. So now the French, who knows what they're doing, and we want to have them keep guessing. So the Germans this turn, guess what? They're just buying a sub. I know it's not that glamorous, but that's what they're doing. Now let's do some non-combat moves. Okay, so here we are, way down here in this weird misshaped Africa, and we are going to move 1, 2. Now it depends, I may stop here, but you know what, let's go 3. We're right there. So now these FEC guys can reach me, or I might be drawing somebody out, because I want to get right here where I can hit 2 different lines, right? Because this line here maxes out at 2 from South Africa up to Aden, right? But there's this other line right through here where if I hit it, oh no, that's the Far East Command, but that's also British. That's worth 3, right? And it's worth $1 for the French. So if I max this one out, I can hit this one again. So depending on what my roll is, I can get 4 here and 2 here for 6. But if I stay down here, I'm only going to be able to get a maximum of 2 income. So pay attention to those little, here, let's show them here. See, one for the British, one for the French, but that line ends here. But if in this C zone, I can hit this line as well from Suez to, I'm assuming it's the Far East here. So that one is worth $3 for the British, Far East actually, $1 for the French, and 2 for the Dutch, if I decide that as the axis I want to activate the Dutch. I'm not sure yet. So, all right, now this one here, I'm doing the same thing. 1, 2, and 3. You'll notice that these 2 are within range of each other. So if I want to, I can pull back, get them together. Or from here, I can go 1, 2, 3, right? Maybe this is going to make the British build destroyers down here. That's perfect. I want them to be building Navy down here. The more the British build Navy outside of the Med and away from London, the better off Germany and Italy are. All right, this sub up here is going to go 1, 2, 3. Now the reason I'm doing this 3 down here, like I said, I'm trying to draw stuff out of the med. If I park it right here, they can stay on escort duty in the med, right? Because this line over here is only worth 3, right? And I can hit it twice now, but I'm also going to be able to start sinking ships, and I'm spreading their navy. Now this coastal sub again, I'm just going to move this one to right here. This line's worth 6. I want to keep that active. So let's. Oh, I can barely reach that non-combat move. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now I'm going to build one more sub over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to put it on this line up here. Right, and depending on what the British do, I'm probably going to move this sub. If they're putting lots of ships down here, I'll keep it down here. If they're not, and the bait's not working, I'm going to move this up into here and convoy these 3 lines. Because from there I can hit their 3, I can hit their 6 and the French 2, or I can hit the other British 6 up here. Right? I'm just trying to get things active. So there you go. So the German disposition, sub in 119, sub in 115, sub in 108, sub in a coastal sub in 48. And that's it for all my moves outside of Germany here. So let's just wander this down to here. And I'll show my place units and the income. So we're going to place our... What did I do with that submarine? No, I said I was going to buy it, but I never did. So let's take a 5er off of here. Buy myself. Leaving us with $39 saved up. Now, the income tracker didn't move, so that doesn't matter. The French are still at 5. The British are at 14. And the Germans are making $10 more than that at 24. So, what is our income sitting at now? Well, we've got 55. Make it $63 in the bank for the Germans. Now, the reason I'm doing this is I don't know what the British are doing. If they're doing a lot of buildup up here, we're not building transports. You might decide to do that. You might decide to do bombers. You might do whatnot. You can build planes and fighters out of this, but next turn, you can start building tanks and mechs, and you can build $63 worth of tanks and mechs next turn, right? That's the whole purpose for saving the money. Or, you know, you decide you want to do that big build in January 1939. Yeah, let's find out here. Okay, so income didn't change. The French and or the Americans are still making their 6. The French are at 5, like I said. Italy's still at 7, and the Russians are at 8. So we're going to move the turn tracker to July 1938. The turn you can build tanks, says Germany. All right, I'm going to stop her here and move on. Okay, we are on July 1938. This would be turn 5, German strategy. We're doing a conservative one still, so I just got something to show you about the build units for everybody. This is the British sheet. Everybody except for Germany has the same dates on here. So I'm going to show this specifically. Mechanized infantry, available July 1939, pair to Blitz. Medium armor, available January 1940, Blitz. Everybody else, everybody in the whole game except for Germany has these dates, 1940, January, or July 1939. So, that's everybody else, but we're talking about Germany. So let's show you Germany's card. First, let's show you the errata. All right, what do we got here? Global War 1936-45, errata version 1.3. In notes of mechanized, it should read available July 1938, paired Blitz. All right, and it also has Volkstrom listed. Now let's look at the actual German sheet. Okay, the German sheet. Motorized, attack 2, mechanized, attack 3, defend 4, move 2, cost 4, available July 1939. Should say 38. Medium armor, access, July 1938, Blitz. Now let's look at this little thing here called the Advanced Armaments. Germany can build medium armor and mechanized infantry earlier than other nations. July 1938. So if there's any confusion, they can build both tanks and mechs 38. That is a typo on your sheet, your reference sheet for the Germans in the mechanized notes. Everything else says otherwise. All right, now that I got that stuff out of the way, let's see. Let's first zoom this out so you're not staring at one little ship there. All right, so I went over all the convoys and whatnot, but we're going to move this German sub here, right? Intersection of two different convoy lines. There you go. This sub here, we're going to keep it right here because that one can reach that one if need be to replace it. Or that one can come back and replace this one if need be. This sub here, we're going to leave right there. That's fine right there. Now, am I still zoomed in or something? No, I just changed my angle down. All right, so these subs here, I'm going to leave the coastal here. I'm going to move this one down to here. That way I can hit this intersection with 3 lines in it. All right, there you go. Now, my last combat move. This one's going to be a bit of... All right. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now I've hit every convoy line available to the British, or am capable of hitting. Okay, that's the end of my combat moves. I was going to show you my builds, but since I was on this table, I'm going to show them out of order last. So Germany had saved $63 last turn, and this turn being July 1938, they could build tanks and mechs. So what do you do with $60 free when you could build tanks and mechs? I would build 10 tanks. So there's a stack of 5, there's a stack of 5. Perfect for my 2 factories that will build 5 each. Now if you want, you can say put 1 or 2 on this side. Honestly, Poland doesn't typically attack the Germans right away. It doesn't, and if it does, it's usually attacking with infantry, so you don't really... I'm more worried about taking out Paris. I want Paris done. That way this Navy can get rolled, the Vichy can happen, all the French Navy disappears, so it doesn't start interfering with my British convoys. So we're playing a conservative game, so let's do the Paris first. Now, if you were playing a less conservative game, and do I have any non-combat moves up here? Well, let's just say for the sake of preservation, let's move this guy over here for now. That way, if anybody gets any crazy ideas like the Russians to attack me before I'm ready, I have one extra, hit in that stack there. All right. So, I forgot I showed... I had to redo this video because somehow I deleted it, so I'm doing it again here. All right. Now, there we go. I had moved some tanks around. Okay, everything's the way it was. So what we're going to do is we're going to stage it up as though we were going to attack France. Now, I'm going to throw the anti-aircraft gun in here because I don't know what kind of planes they got. But if I do take this place, I want to hold it. Then I'm going to throw, let's throw a cavalry up here. Maybe a couple of light tanks down here. Now let's throw cavalry and a light tank down there and a light tank up here. All right. Now, if you're feeling really excitable, you're not sure what's going to happen, which I'm not sure. I'm going to split up that stack of infantry and Sudetenland. I'm just getting this stuff ready so I don't have to do these moves next turn here. So I'm going to take this green guy here. I'm going to leave that there, and I'm going to put 3 infantry here instead of this chip. So that's a non-combat move out of there. This fighter, I'm going to move up to here, and then I'm going to throw in the bottom here a fighter and a tactical. And I'm going to move this artillery. Let's put it down here. It doesn't hurt having an artillery down there. So I could be hitting up, I could be hitting down. The French might not know. So now to place my units, I'm going to place this here, and I'm going to place this down here. And just so that it's easier, I'm going to move this guy to this air base up here. Now the reason for that is I'm trying to put some pressure on everything. From here I can reach there, there, and here. So if I want to start taking something up here, it'll make it easier for me to do. Alright, so that's that. Oh yeah, I had this $3 left over. I was considering buying an airborne, but I couldn't remember if it was 3 or 4. And then I started the video without taking a look. So special infantry airborne cost 3. Well, there you go. So you get to see my really high-tech airborne chips. Purple. Yeah, I would have gone with maroon, which is what the Canadian berets for the airborne are, but or were anyway. I don't know if they still are. It's been a long time since I looked that up. So yeah, there we go. Purple airborne along with the air transport here. There we go. Add an airbase. Let's see what we can do with that. Now, that is the end of this turn. So we are completely broke as Germany. We blew all of our money and we collect our 24 again. Now, nothing changes. I'm going to move the turn tracker up to January 1939. We are pretty much ready to go, but there you are. Now, instead of just stopping this clip, I'm just going to keep on going here. This one's going to be quick and easy. What are you going to do with 24 bucks? Well, at 4 bucks a piece, you're probably going to build 6 mechs. That's what I would build. I've done all my non-combat moves. So with your 6 mechs, what would you do? Well, you'd pair those with those stacks of tanks you just built. So up here, I know it's getting tight, but I would build 3 tanks up here, and I would build 3 tanks down here. All right, or sorry, 3 mechs and 3 mechs. There we go. And that way I have some meat shields along to protect my tanks on their blitz. And if they get counterattacked after. You never know. So there you are. That is the build for January 1939, and you will collect your $24 again. I'm now going to move the turn tracker. So that was turn 5 and turn 6. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're now moving the turn tracker to July 1939, and we'll see what happens on that movie.